Hello everyone and a very good day to our lecturer, Madam Suena. Today we'll be discussing the construction technology of basement as well as our case study, which is the Ion Mall in Kuching, Sarawak and the Sarawak New Museum. Before we begin, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Arang Speed and my group member consists of Solihin Nasmi, Muhammad Amirul and Muhammad Khairuddin. For the introduction, basement is a story of several stories of a building that are either completely or partially below the ground floor. Basements are optional, so not all buildings being built with a basement as it is not required. Basements are common for high-rise buildings as car parks, storage of services, and the underground shopping center. Our task is to conduct two local case study of an existing real-life project that can be obtained through online search and make comparative studies between these two projects. Our project that we choose is the project of Ion Mall Kuching Center, which is located in Kuching, Sarawak, and Sarawak New Museum.
Now we go to the project background of the first case study. Ion Mall Kuching Central is a shopping mall in Kuching, Sarawak, Malaysia, located at Jalan Datuk Patinggi Ahmad Zaidi Adrus, formerly known as Jalan Kereta Api. It was opened in April 2018. Ion Mall has 3 levels of retail space and 4 levels of car parks. It is a 3-story shopping mall with floor area of 52,000 meters square. Also, Ion Mall Kuching Central have a large circular atrium with skylights at the center of the building.
Next, I will be explaining the type of the basement that Ion Mall Kuching Center is using. Ion Mall Kuching Center is using the top-down excavation. Ion Mall Kuching Center basement construction is for the purpose of car park and services and considering its location in urban area with a lot of obstruction top-down basement excavation. It is suitable for two types of urban structure, tall building containing deep basement, underground structure like car park, underpass, and the subway station. This type of basement excavation is preferred as a top-down construction method and save the entire construction time. The basement concrete slab functions as the lateral bracing toward the perimeter wall system.
The parties involved in this project are as follows. The client is Aeon Co Malaysia Berhad. The developer is KTS Holding Sendirian Berhad. Architecture firm is IDC Architect. Project management consultant is Plus PM Consultant, and engineering consultant firm is Jurutera Jasa Sarawak Sendirian Berhad.
Next, I will be presenting the construction process. The construction process for the top-down, firstly, it is construct the retaining wall, and then excavation and installing of steel strut, and then construction of underground structure. After that, it will be construction of underground structure also, but the next level of slab is constructed. Next is the construction of the underground structure, which is the side wall are constructed upward, followed by removal of the intermediate strut. The last but not least is the backfilling and reinstatement, which is after the underground structure is completed, the soil is backfilled to the top strut level before the strut removed. Next, I will be presenting the problem and the solution that occurs on the site. Firstly, lack of the safety at the site. So the solution is to create a safe system of work for using and maintaining the machine to provide a safety to the workers. Next is high cost. The solution is to proper planning must be implemented for the basement construction and the worker must do the work based on the work schedule to prevent over budget costs. Next problem is the transportation issue. The solution is the transportation of our material or any other metals are to be transported during non-crowded hours, such as during early dawn or midnight. That's all from me. Thank you.
For the second case study, we chose the Sarawak New Museum and Annex building. Now we go to the parties involved and their responsibility in construction. The first one is the client. In the construction industry, client is one of the most important parties in carrying out the construction process. They play an important role in initiating a project, providing the financial and administrative organization. Second one is the contractor. The contractor is the person who is responsible for the client's need into the reality in accordance with the terms and the conditions stipulated. Contractors are responsible for the entire construction process and selecting the best method for complete project according to the specification. The third one is the architect. Architects will be involved throughout the construction process, adapting their plans according to the allocated budget, environmental consideration, and client requirement. They are also responsible for the design of the work on an ongoing basis. The architect is also appointed under many standards form of building contract as a contract administrator. Next, engineer. The engineer coordinates with the project manager to ensure that the project construction runs effectively and to monitor the life cycle of the project. They are also responsible to provide all project control and update it as required. Last but not least, quantity surveyor. A quantity surveyor is a professionally trained, qualified, and experienced in dealing with these problems on behalf of the employer. They are a cost expert and responsible to ensure that the project is within the agreed budget. Therefore, the client will obtain the profit for the project. For project background, the project is owned by the Jabatan Museum Sarawak. The main contractor is the PPES Works Sarawak Sdn Bhd. Architecture firm Architect KDI Sdn Bhd. Principal architects which is Datuk Sri A.R. John Lau Kah Siang, A.R. Woon Chun Hing, Florence Yo Yin Long, and Lily Law. Principal designer which is Sharon Nimat, civil and structural engineer which is EDS Consultants Sdn Bhd, M&E engineers, Primetech Engineers Sdn Bhd, and Perunding UZL Sdn Bhd. Quantity surveyors which is from Jupsar Sdn Bhd and PUBM Quantity Surveyors Sdn Bhd, Green Building Consultant, Energy Malaysia Sdn Bhd, and last but not least, Excavatory Design, GCM Project Creation Ptel Ltd.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Khairuddin Zulkifli and I will explain to you type of basement for case study number 2. So we use type of basement is open cut excavation. So application of this excavation, the site must be large enough to apply this technique because of we do not use any kind of support to anchoring the slope, and it must be suitable for clay to sand soil because of low soil settlement, and then it is a low cost method because there is no complicated action. And next is method of basement construction for case study number 2, and the method is open cut method. So the first one, excavation, we excavate the whole area of the basement, depends on the height and the area. And then we installation of rough or slab to the basement. And then we anchoring the slab with walls. And then we strengthen the structure with ground floor area. And then we backfill the surrounding area with excavated soil. And next is problem and step taken to resolve. So the first one is confine construction site, because for this case study is located at urban area in the middle of Kuching city. And because of its confined structure site where the area and space are limited, so the solution is excavation method is done phases by phases to ease the movement and avoid crowded and traffic at the construction site. So after one work executed and then another work can be enter into the frame. And next is transportation issue because of the traffic of the road is rather busy because it is a main road used by a lot of people. So the presence of heavy vehicles such as lorry, big trucks and the means of transportation will be causes a little disturbance to the citizens. So the solution is transportation of any kind of transportation will be uh, doing during non-crowded hour such as dawn, midnight or early morning. And then there is high initial cost because of the investment. It's a uh, large scale project and the investment will be enormous as well. So the solution is we driven a significant workforce and usage of plant and machinery to increase construction speed so that the construction period will not be delayed and can save a little cost as the cost increases perpendicular to time. And next is safety for students. For both case study 1 and case study 2, we use the same safety for students. So the first one is PPE, personal protective equipment. So PPE is providing labor or workers a full personal protective equipment from the head to the foot. And from the head we will get a helmet, and for eyes and ears we will get goggles or earphone, and for hands we got glove, and for our clothing we will use durable and unflammable uh, clothes. And for our foot, we will use safety boots and safety harness at the end of the pointy boots. And next, number two, we will provide suitable fixed access into the basement and access to the trenches or shafts. So it means we will use a ladder or temporary lift shaft to carry loads or workers or laborers down into the site, which is without any falling or accidents. And next is cleanness of the construction site. So to ensure the work site tidy at all time, it will prevent slip, it will prevent fall, it will either prevent death, accident because of the project is located nearby at the close residential. And the site construction is must be entirely clean every day before leaving the sites. And next is tools and electrical equipment. So it will be the equipment will visually inspected on a regular basis, because if the equipment found to be faulty or damaged, it will make the electrician or the workers will get injury.
Now we proceed to comparative studies between the two projects. The type of project for Aeon Mall Kuching Sarawak is private project, which is a commercial building, while the Sarawak New Museum and Annex building is a government project involving public building. Aeon Mall used top-down excavation method, while the Sarawak New Museum and Annex building use open-cut excavation. Top-down excavation was used for Aeon Mall because of its confined space of the site. The advantage of this type of excavation is that it saves time, but it also produces a higher cost. The Sarawak New Museum and Annex Building use open cut excavation because of its shallow basement excavation. This type of excavation takes a lot of time, but it is economical and cheap to construct.
For the conclusion, basement is a construction which is a complex construction with a numerous types and techniques of a construction depending on the factors that significantly affect the situation, such as the location, geographical design, site condition, and more. Each type of basement excavation will have advantages and disadvantages along the way. Safety procedures for basement construction will have a much higher precaution depending on how dangerous and risky the basement construction to be compared to a couple floors of building construction.